In this episode, SPEVCO races to meet their deadline and finish their brand new state-of-the-art vehicle for one of their customers, the National Guard. Will they get it done on time? Find out on this episode of The Real Transformers.
We've been working on the National Guard vehicle for 4 months. Today we're finally finishing it up, taking it out for a road test and then bringing it back to the shop to set up the whole exhibit. The National Guard trailer is an interactive showpiece that will educate people on how we're using up oil, coal, and one day it's going to be gone. The trailer itself is basically just a ground-up chassis with fold-down stages and awnings.
We start with a raw steel. When it comes off the truck, it's come from the mill and it's delivered to our shop floor.
We got drawings that the engineers come up with and you just cut it. We got some jigs, you set up the jigs throughout the floor, get them all square, and then you just start laying your steel on the jig and you just work your way up. Build your lower chassis first, and then you start with upper chassis, which is walls. As soon as you get all that done, you weld all that up. And the hardest part probably is, it's not the building it, it's the finish work is what takes the longest.
Normally I'm a fabricator, but during the build of this project, I was shifted into hydraulics.
So are you leveling it front to back as well as side to side?
Yeah, you gotta have the trailer completely level.
Okay.
If it's not level and that pod comes out crooked or something.
Binds up and breaks shit, bends shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Incorporating a large tent into this vehicle did bring some challenges.
I think it's 14 feet high and it's heavy, and you have that big one-piece tarp that goes over top of it, and everything's got to line up perfect. It's got to go one way or no way. It's a pain.
So you're talking about, let me see if I understand this correctly. The structure fully assembled with the tarp on the top, you think we're going to be, all of us, going to be able to lift it and then walk it over?
You gotta use a lull sometimes to get it up. It's pretty awkward. Well, we try not to get behind, but you know, it happens.
We work a lot of hours here. There's been weeks where I've banked 120 hours in 1 week. We work great together, you know, for the first 40 to 80. After about that, we all start getting ill. I've been guilty of getting mad and slinging stuff across the shop.
That's just something that you got to get used to. If you like it, it's for some people it's not.
We've had people just go home and not come back for a few days because of the pressure. And it's just working, like I said, 18 hours a day, something's going to give. We had people just leave and not come back for a couple days. They come back when the trailer's done. I've never been here and left early the night the trailer's supposed to leave. We've been here all night sometimes, waiting for the trailer to come back from the scales, road testing. You have to tear it down, set it up, tear it down again, reset it up, train the driver, train the operators.
The setup time they're probably going to be looking at on this vehicle, I would say, is somewhere in the 6 to 8 hour range.
Because you have a tent, the stage, it depends on where you're at. If you're in gravel or asphalt or on a hill, you know, that's all a big factor in how long it's going to take you to set up, and the weather too. The inside of the trailer, you had a pod on the driver's side. It had a projector screen on the wall, and it had a few LED lights mounted just to kind of add to the light show. In the center section, it had risers like you'd see in a movie theater.
We had a soft launch here, and we brought some local high school students.
We put them through a video real quick to educate them about the different types of non-renewable and renewable resources. And then we enter them into the energy lab so they can experience some of the new technologies that are embracing these energies.
On the stage of the trailer, it had games where you manage your resources. I had one game, you held the actual computer, is about this tall, about this wide, and it had handles on it, and you had to follow the sun with it, and it was like a solar panel, and you had to collect solar energy.
When the people who get to enjoy it and get to interact with it, when they see it and you see the face like, man, how in the heck did they build this thing? That's the moment that you look for. And as long as those folks are going, holy crap, this thing's really neat, then we know we've succeeded.
It was pretty impressive, all the lights and the features and everything.
It's really high tech and fun. Even students, I guess, that wouldn't normally pay attention in school, you can get their attention with all the cool technology.
I think they were surprised when they walked into the theater, but also when they finally got to go in and they got to see the different games that were available for them to really kind of dig into the material of renewable resources. I think they had a great time.
I think it turned out great. It was a lot different than what we're used to.
Every trailer that I've built or been a part of, there is an attachment, there's a sense of pride that goes along with manufacturing showpieces of this quality.
I enjoy the build. I don't want to do another one, but I enjoyed it.
I always love to see them leave, because whenever one leaves, that means we get to start a new one.